Alright, so sometimes, your hunches don't go quite the way you expect them to go. Whether they, turn out successful or not, they just don't always go the way you expect them to. Last night was definitely one of those cases. But on our private property, I got some footage, a little bit of footage of that. Pretty slow night. Didn't really have any action right up until the end. Which I'll show you that coming up here. But just one of those unique situations, something that's not going to happen too often. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this footage. Just a little bit of before, when I got in the stand, and I got a little footage of after the night was over. I mean, without spoiling, I'm just going to say I didn't get a kill shot on film. But there's definitely an interesting story to go with it. The buck came out right as I put my camera away. I lost camera light, but still had shooting time left. It was so overcast and dreary last night. Lost that camera light well before shooting time was over, which is unfortunate. I mean, I could have probably got something on camera, but it would have been super grainy. So I opted to pack up because I wasn't seeing anything. And then lo and behold, as soon as I packed up, the buck come out. So go ahead and show you that footage real quick, and then come back and give you the footage, show you the deer, and explain exactly what happened, and why it's important to have relationships, with your neighbors, and you want to establish those good relationships, just in case something odd like this happens. So go ahead and take a look at the footage, and we'll be back in a few minutes to show you the buck and go into depth a little bit more on that story.
Alright, it's November 6th, afternoon hunt. A little windy tonight. We've been seeing a lot of nice bucks starting to chase some does around. My dad seen a really big buck last night. New buck, we've never seen him on camera or anything. He makes everything else look tiny, so nobody's hoping to get a glimpse of him tonight. We've also seen a couple of shooters this morning. And so I think there's 6 of us out on the property tonight hunting, so hopefully somebody can put an arrow in one here. We're down to the last week of bow season here before Michigan rifle season opens up. It opens up on the 15th, Monday. Which we'll be up here filling all the shacks that weekend as well. But tonight, pretty much anything, nice 8-pointer or anything decent size is definitely going to get shot. Just I'd like to get a buck on camera with my bow this year, so that's my main goal. Watching a nice little water hole we have dug here. We actually used it to build up our road. Sitting right on the road, they're traveling it pretty heavily. Coming to that water right now. Usually during the rut, if you can find a little water hole, it's a good spot to set up. Bucks don't necessarily come to a food source, but they will stop and take a drink even when they're running. So all their side, both sides. I mean, it's real thick. Just a couple of runways crossing, and then the main trail we walk in on. It's pretty open up behind me, but I'm expecting them to come shooting across. Through these runways going down the tag alder strips. They kind of travel these tag alders, especially with this wind. They're scent checking our fields. We got a couple of fields out in front of me here that these tag alders run along, so I think we'll be working these tag alder strips pretty good. Pretty early yet. I want to get up here and get set up. They could be moving, any time right now, so get the camera turned around here and hopefully get some action tonight.
Alright, so it was getting dark, or getting late. I was getting ready to get down. Just put my camera away and heard something coming through the tag alders. And before I get the camera back out or anything, he come out right down the runway 15 yards in front of my tree. Got him to stop right perfect in the trail, right where I wanted him to. Put a good shot on him. He ran about maybe 50-60 yards in the tag alders here and crashed. We actually already walked in there and found him, but I'll walk up there and get a good look at him. But come to find out, he came out because the neighbors were actually tracking him. Her and her husband were tracking him. She had shot him and just hit him low in the leg, in the front leg, clipped one leg, and the crossbow bolt stuck in the other. There's the buck. There's the neighbor's shot. They were tracking him. Met him out in the trail. They knew they weren't going to find it, and they were fine with letting me have the buck, because clearly my heart shot took him out. But nice 7-point. Wish he'd have come out a little earlier. I'd been able to get him on camera, but like I said, I had just put the camera away and just didn't have time to get it back out before he was coming. So I literally was zipping up my backpack and heard the tag alders cracking. So unfortunate, didn't get the kill on film, but ooh, careful, Connor. But we're gonna go ahead and get this buck out of here. Go ahead and take him up to the cabin, get him cleaned up. I'll do a little bit more of an interview hereafter, just explain exactly what happened. But right now I just want to get him out of here. Yeah, that's where her crossbow bolt was stuck. Clipped that leg there and stuck in there. So as you can see, I did not get a lot of footage. It didn't work out. Literally just put that camera away, just lost the light, and he come walking out. But I just, with the season I've been having, I just couldn't let him pass. I have not had real great luck this year so far. It's nice just to get one to get the pressure off. In Michigan, you can kill 2 bucks, gun or a bow. One just has to have at least 4 on the side. So, I mean, I can plan on shooting another 8-point or bigger. I don't plan on shooting a small buck just because I can. That's just my personal choice. But so a couple things with this buck. Like I said, he came out right at dark. What happened was I had just packed all my stuff up, and I heard something coming through the tag alders. It sounded pretty close, and he came right out perfect. That was a nice rack. Put an arrow in him, seen him crash. Having a good luminoc or lighted knock is great. I watched him run all of 50, 60 yards into the tag alder, watched him run the entire way and then crash. So there wasn't much of a track job. So that is very beneficial. Using a double bevel fixed blade. It's actually one I just did some research and found it on Amazon. I think it's called a Jaeger broadhead, a German broadhead. Reviews were amazing on it, and so far, I mean, super happy with it. The only thing that was sticking out of this deer was the knot, because it hit the opposite side shoulder, but it flew through it, no problem. So, phenomenal performance with them. I do like using that fixed blade. I just switched to one I was using mechanical for years and just had a couple issues, but they worked great as well. But so the full story on this buck came out because right after I shot him, I actually seen lights over on the neighbor's property. Didn't think much of it, thought they were just leaving their stand. Well, I got down, went and talked to my brother, and we came back to track this and find it. And they met us on our trail, said that they'd been tracking a deer for about 500 yards. And sure enough, it was this buck, which surprised me because he wasn't acting like he was hurt at all when he came out. But she had actually hit him on this front leg, just clipped it, and then stuck the broadhead in this opposite leg. And he had blood dripping down his leg pretty good. He was definitely bleeding, but it was not a fatal shot by no means. So once we got that whole story from them, we went in, found the deer. My neighbor actually took lead on it because I wasn't sure what the hit was. I figured if it was a fatal shot, that she had made, I was more happy to let her have the buck. But he walked into the luminoc or the lighted knock and found the buck, and instantly we seen, her hit was not fatal, and immediately they said, congratulations, it's definitely your buck. We would have never found it. So that's just the benefits of having a good relationship with your neighbors. Get to know the neighbors. I actually went to school with her husband. She was in school with my wife, but their parents were the ones that actually bought the land. We knew they owned the land before we purchased ours, and it was just nice knowing that it was somebody you could communicate with if something like that happens, or if we shoot a deer and it goes on their property, there's going to be no problem recovering it. So to me, that was one of the biggest takeaways, just the benefits of having that good relationship, and being a good steward of the sport, doing it the right way, and just to ensure that when you do shoot a deer or any animal, that you're able to recover it. I know in many cases, the neighbors aren't necessarily on good terms with you. They will not let you go in there just out of spite, whatever. It's just unfortunate, but I know it happens. So we were just very, happy with the way this turned out. It could have went south, many ways. Whether they argued the shot, and said that would have killed it or whatever. But as soon as they walked up, I wasn't real concerned at that point. I knew one of us was taking this deer home. So, but they were very graceful. They told us to come out to their cabin, during rifle season and visit and all that. So, which we may take them up on that offer. But I know she was just relieved to see the end result. Nothing worse than that feeling of shooting a deer or any animal and tracking it for 400 or 500 yards, very little blood, having a hard time tracking it, and then not finding it. If it was me personally, I'd much rather would have had this outcome, at least to see what the deer was and know that it's not as miserable and then getting eaten by coyotes that night. So not something you're going to experience every time you go out. A little different. Not really what I was expecting by any means, but hey, I'll take it. But yeah, it was a fun night. Turned out well. Now I just got to do a little work to get this thing processed, and going from there, I think I'm probably just going to do a European mount on it. Anything we shoot out of the cabin, we tend to do a European mount on it and hang it out in the cabin. We got a bunch of bucks hanging in there, which you'll probably see in an upcoming video here next week. We'll be doing rifle season opener out there with my dad and brothers and a couple of my sister-in-laws and that. Actually might have my wife on camera first morning, so I think I'm going to run camera and have her shoot, so it should be good. I think Kirk and Espald will be out there with us as well, so hopefully we can get some video put down next weekend. I got a little work to do, get this one prepped and ready to go, and I'll be working all day putting this video together for you guys so I can get it posted. But that's the major takeaway, just build those relationships with your neighbors, and just so you don't run into an issue down the road. It's well worth establishing good relationships with them. They're fellow hunters just like you. They're doing the same thing you're doing. If you shot one, you want to be able to look for it on their land. So if they shoot one, let them come look for it on your land. As simple as that. So, but thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we can get some more footage out for you shortly.